you are Olivia's father, correct?
Olivia's biological father. Yes.
Biological father.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm assuming you've become aware. How did you become aware of all of this TikTok of her being in a poly relationship? How did you become aware of this?
Well, let me first of all start by saying I appreciate you having me on. I appreciate everyone who is positive about the situation and who is, with real love, concerned about Olivia and what's going on.
Hmm.
Um, I learned about the whole relationship through a phone call. I was preaching in New York at the time, and my
Hmm.
oldest daughter lives there. So I was there preaching that Sunday. And after church, I was at my daughter's house, and me and Olivia ended up on the phone, and she was kind of talking to me, and she was kind of rambling on, and she was telling me about this relationship. So then I was like, she was saying, I was like, what? It sounds crazy to me. So I asked her, I said, I want to talk to him.
Hmm.
And he gets on the phone, and I knew as soon as I talked to him, I was like, no, no, no,
What
this
did
is
he
not.
say to you? What did he say when he got on the phone?
Well, he started, I guess, trying to explain more of what Olivia was trying to explain to me about
Hmm.
the poly relationship. And then um, I knew because even though I'm a preacher now, I haven't always been a preacher my whole life.
Hmm.
So game, recognized game. I've been there before. I've done that. I
Hmm.
know the streets. I come from Rochester. It's rough.
Hmm.
So I grew up in the streets and I knew that, and I told him, you sound like a pimp.
Hmm.
You sound
Hmm.
like a straight up pimp.
Hmm.
And it's so funny because a lot of people have been hitting me today, and I just got a message from Sean on Instagram. I guess he tried to block what was happening on Instagram,
Hmm.
and maybe he kind of did some type of, I forget what it's called when you say somebody's doing something or I was tagging him.
Oh, he reported your
Yeah,
did he report your
yeah,
your
yeah,
video? Because you're hosting, and I want to remind everybody, if you're okay with it, that you're hosting a live on
yeah. On
Sunday
Sunday at 10
at at
at
10, and
at
you're
10 a.m.
at
Hmm.
10 a.m. You're on Eastern Standard Time, right?
Eastern Standard Time. Hmm.
Okay. And so Sean tried to report the post.
Yeah, he tried to report the post because I guess he was obviously seen. I didn't know because they have so many hits. I thought maybe they wouldn't see, but I guess now they see. But me and Olivia had already talked
Mhm.
about me doing this because a lot of people have been reaching out wanting to do interviews and wanting to do this and wanting to do that. I wanted to do it on my own platform, and I wanted it to be genuine. I wanted it to be right. I didn't want nobody cutting up what
Mhm.
I'm saying or anything, but I wanted to really, but I'm gonna just tell you that what God is gonna do on Sunday is gonna blow your mind. It's gonna
Mhm.
blow your mind. I'm blown. My mind is blown. I've been spending a lot of 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock mornings with
Mhm.
him. He's been dropping some heavy stuff in my spirit.
Mhm.
He has given me great revelation on this whole poly thing,
Mhm.
and it's bananas. I'm really, and this is no hype. This is
Mhm.
God. I know it's God all day that he is really doing something where Olivia, even though she don't realize it, but she is being used indirectly by God to
Mhm.
really bring awareness to other young girls about this type of thing. Because he's showing me that a lot of the women who are on their live, a lot of them might be saying negative and why are you doing that, bullying, but a lot of them are interested in this.
Mhm.
And God is saying that you're wasting your time
Mhm.
because I have one man for you that's going to love you
Mhm.
or who's going to allow me to love you through them. It's going
Mhm.
to be real love. It's going to be a man of God. But if you go for the generic, if you go for the fugazi, as they say,
Okay.
you're going to miss what I have for you. You can go for it, but just
Mhm.
know it's not going to be the real meal. It's just going to be the crumbs on the floor.
So now some people, and I don't know, I believe Olivia may have said that you weren't really involved in her life. Is that true?
Not true. Not true at
Mhm.
all. Well, even if you look at my Instagram, Facebook, and everything,
Mhm.
I cut the cord on Olivia. I cut the umbilical cord on her.
Mhm.
Me and her mother, even though we were married for a short time and divorced, we're very still close. Her mother is very upset. Her
Mhm.
mom is not like me, where I'm more vocal. Her mother is from Indonesia, still have a very deep Indonesian accent. So
Mhm.
she's not one to come speaking, and she don't do social media.
Mhm.
Olivia, that's one of the lies that Olivia told her. And when I spoke to her the other day, I said, Olivia, I said, do you realize the Bible says that if you build a house on sand, when a storm comes, it'll fall down. But if you build it on rock, it will sustain.
Mhm.
So what Sean got Olivia doing is building that whole thing on sand. They have a lot of followers, but it's not going to stand. And the reason why it's not going to stand, because there's a bunch of lies. And on Sunday, I'm going to poke all the holes in the lies, but I'm going to do it entwined with God's word to show you in the Bible where what they're actually doing. And honestly, Olivia's 20 years old. She is grown enough. She can make her own decisions. I can't go and drag her out of San Diego.
Right.
I've tried to tell her to leave, but she has decided to stay. But Olivia, God told me Olivia has to go through these things, and she's taken on the spirit of Sean, which is very um, just nasty. I
You
mean, he has a
you you
very arrogant,
yeah.
very, very harsh, very no respect,
None.
selfish, self-centered, all about me. And it's something that God, he's gonna be humbled because I mean, I know he put it out there like he's a um he's a millionaire and all that. That's a
Yeah.
lie. That's not true.
No, and
Sean don't.
I mean, I don't think any of it's true. I mean, did
Oh
Olivia?
yeah, yeah. It's all a lie. But see, I'm going to show you the lies. See, and the whole thing about it is people saying, how could he get on here and talk about his daughter? I love my baby.
Right.
And my baby is fine because God has promised me that he's going to take care of me and my children. So she's covered. Okay. She's going to have to go through some things and she's going to have to see that she is with a snake. But besides that, she's fine. But God has told me that I have to speak truth to power.
Mhm.
And Sean is definitely, because he's the man, he's a leader, even though they're not married. A woman, once she falls for will fall in line with the man. If she submits to him like that, she's gonna fall in line with him because honestly, that's how God created it, you know. But the thing is, a man can lead you wrong or he can lead you right. He can lead you with love or he can leave you with foolishness. And
Mhm.
Sean is definitely leading with foolishness. A lot of lies, a lot of deception, trying to paint this picture, but that picture is not real. It's not real. And
Did you ever talk to Shanice at all? Did
I've
you talk to
never
her?
I've never talked to her, but after the other night, I'm gonna be honest with you. I love her
Hmm.
because even though she's caught up in that and I feel like she's about to get away, I feel like, at first I thought I could see her little enviness between her and Olivia. I can see it.
Hmm.
But then when I heard her say that she knew who the king was, and my daughter, who's coming from a man of God, who I took my child to church and told her about Christ, even though her mom is Muslim, and
Hmm.
she know, you know what I'm saying? Even though her mom had, to be honest with you, when we went through a divorce, part of the divorce decree was that her mother would be in control of the religion.
Mm.
But even though that was the case, so it was times where I would have her come for the weekend, but I noticed her mom would try to, not let her stay too long, or she couldn't stay because she didn't want her to go to church.
Hmm.
But honestly, when I got saved, her mother knew that God had did something to me, and she said to me, she said, Brian, I know that God did something to you, but she said I can't follow it because my family would disown me.
Hmm. Hmm.
So the Muslim culture, she's deep into it like that, and they don't want to um, part from it. But God, I told her the only reason why is because God has a plan for you, and it's grounded and rooted in Jesus Christ.
So when you look at this situation, are you scared for Olivia?
No, I'm not scared for her because if I'm see if you look at the book of Job, the Bible talks about Job, and people don't realize what was happening. But it says Job was operating in fear. And if you look at that, because he operated in fear, all his kids ended up dead. Okay?
Hmm.
Because the Bible said, what you fear will come upon you, what you dread will happen. So if I have fear for Olivia, that means that I'm believing the bad thing is going to happen to my baby. But because the morning, spending time in the Word of God, keeping my faith high and knowing and seeing how God has done things in my life before, and I know that God is real, I can stand on. I can put I can put my own neck on a chopping block, knowing that God got her.
Hmm.
Sean can only do so far. God will have it where if she does anything to Olivia to the point to take her life, that Shanice will kill him. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? Who
Hmm.
knows? But Sean doesn't have no good intentions for nobody but Sean. Sean is thinking about Sean. I can see through it. I can see through the spirit. I spoke to him. Even when I um call and speak to Olivia, Olivia is on FaceTime with me. Sean has to sit there and monitor her phone call.
Oh wow, really? So he's on FaceTime too, or are they sitting on the
He's
couch?
no, he's not on FaceTime. He's on the sideline.
Oh
So
wow.
last time I spoke with her, I was poking holes into the lies that they had posted and that had been up there for a while. And when I was poking holes in it, he heard it and he kept telling her to wrap up the phone call. Wrap up the phone call.
Wow.
She's talking to her dad now. Now, Olivia has always had respect for me,
Hmm.
but she has gotten to the point where she's taken on the spirit of Sean. And that
She
spirit,
certainly acts like him. She certainly
I
acts
said,
like him
but I'm gonna
online.
tell you, she's not that girl. That's
Hmm.
why people are saying it like, I feel sorry for her. You feel sorry for her because sometimes you can become a slave. See, a lot of people don't realize the Bible talks about if you lay down with a harlot, you become one with a harlot. A
Hmm.
harlot is not a whore. Spiritually, a harlot is anything that is against God. It can also be a way of thinking. So if you lay down with someone that thinks wrong against God, you'll take on that thinking and become one with them. And if you see how Sean was angry, how he was angry at Shanice because she had called Jesus or God the king instead of calling him the king. But when Olivia's like, oh, he's my king, he was like, bam. I was like, he's super
Hmm.
corny. He's
That he
super
is.
corny.
That he is. That
He's
he is.
super corny.
That he is.
He think he's a man, but he's a mouse. He really got to get himself together. But here's one thing I said about him because I don't want to put my mouth on him and say bad things because God got a plan for him,
Hmm.
and he needs help.
Hmm.
He needs mental help. He is abusive, and he needs help with that abuse. I can understand because I've been there before. Okay.
Hmm.
So I know that he needs to find that relationship with God. He needs, see, the Bible talks about if a man hates his own wife, he hates himself.
Hmm.
So you have to realize if a woman came from you and you're dogging out a woman, you're dogging out a part of you because God created that woman from you, even if she's not your woman.
Hmm.
So it's
Hmm.
like knowing how to treat a woman, knowing how to treat someone is it can only come from God. Man on itself or the woman on itself is going to be evil. The Bible talks about how in the end of the day, people's love is going to wax cold. We see people are evil, vindictive, and nasty, but it's like even people being so interested in this just whole poly thing. God showed me that a lot of young girls are interested in this thing, and they need to know that it's not it. But I got so much to share with y'all on Sunday that is gonna blow your socks off. And I'm just excited about it. I'm excited about it because I know God got a plan for
Hmm.
the whole thing. And I didn't realize, when it all started happening, and I started seeing the numbers, and I told Olivia when I seen the numbers, I said, Olivia, you weren't ready for this.
No, definitely,
See,
definitely wasn't.
the Bible talks about how before God actually gave King Solomon the great wealth, he first gave him great wisdom.
Hmm.
Because if you don't have the wisdom before the wealth, the Bible says a fool and his money shall soon depart. So it's like it's so important for you to have the wisdom, and that wisdom can't be the wisdom of the world. It can't be arrogance. It can't
Hmm.
be nastiness. It got to be rooted in God's love. It has to be the wisdom of God that knows how to talk to people, treat people, and love people, you know? And if you don't have that, you just, I mean, you can't go on. You can't do it right.
When you have, do you watch their lives
I've
often?
watched their lives before, and
Hmm.
it's funny because it was times I wanted to jump in. You really can't get in because there's so many people, and it's
Right.
so many. And plus, I wasn't able to because I didn't have 1,000 viewers. But look at me now. It's so funny what a day will bring. What you say?
Absolutely.
Actually, the scripture says one day in God's court is like 1,000 elsewhere. Look at me, 1,000 followers.
When you look at this and you think, and I know you said that her mother is from Indonesia. Is she close with her mom? Is her mom sad? I mean, I can only imagine her
Very.
mom is hurt,
After
is
me and her
very
mom
hurt.
divorced, we had joint custody of Olivia. And Olivia, her mom, because she worked for a friend of hers company who is a millionaire.
Yeah,
Okay.
that was it. Lou, Sarah
No,
Lou,
no, not Lou, not
not
Lou.
Lou.
Lou is someone who Olivia was working for,
Hmm.
who was like a what is it called? Someone that kind of help you along.
Like a coach, like like
Uh,
her coach, her. I'm trying to think of the word.
oh, the word. Yeah, I'm kind of brain fart too.
But she
But
helped. She helped
yeah,
Olivia. An
yeah,
internship. She did
yeah. But no, I'm not talking
mentor.
about that. But her mother. One thing that Olivia said about her mom, and it really blew my mind. And I'm gonna leave you with this because it's so much stuff to say, but I'm gonna hold it. But it's just one thing I want to say, and I want to.
Absolutely. Go ahead,
I ain't
cook.
gonna even worry about my name. I'm gonna clear her mother's name. um, she said that her mother was low income. She said that her mother didn't have money. That's a
Mm,
lie. Okay, that's a big
wow.
lie. And the crazy thing about it is, before Olivia graduated high school, Olivia had been to Europe, Indonesia multiple times, Japan. She's been to New York with me. She's been all over. She's been to Florida. She's been all over the place. What low income do you know? My mother was low income. Okay,
Hmm.
at the time when I was a child, I was a big Michael Jackson fan, and I wanted a $29 ticket to the Victory Tour. We couldn't afford it.
Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's like that's low income. Okay. But Olivia wasn't low income when she was in school. She had a Honda. She wasn't paying for no bills or anything. She's always actually her mom had. Oh, I was talking to her mom, and her mom was saying, Brian, do you know why? Um, it's crazy because now Olivia doesn't like salmon and caviar, and she
Hmm.
said, you know why she don't like caviar? Because she ate it her whole life.
Mm. Mm.
What low income person do you know? And then they talk about the shoes, and I'm like, I've always bought Olivia shoes. So if Sean is so rich, if he got so much money, come on, man, keep it
I'm
real.
with you. I'm with you, and this is what we've been saying. We've been all dissecting this, just like you. You know, you've been able to get more close to the situation, obviously, because you're Olivia's father. You have, and you see it. You see things differently that we don't get to see, and it's really sad because we know he don't have the money. He can't
Oh,
be
the girl is
taking
smart.
both taking care of both of them. I mean, I don't know. Have you seen much of the apartment?
Well, it's not much to see, but I'm looking at it like Olivia and Shanice are working, and they're helping Sean pay the bills, basically.
Mm. Yeah.
Sean don't have no money.
Hmm.
Contrary to what he's saying, he ain't got no money. He's trying to be something he's not. He's like the kid that never had that wants to show that he had, but he ain't got nothing, you know?
Hmm.
And even if he has something, he don't have love. He don't have respect for women. He's a male chauvinist. It's like, come on, man.
Yeah.
Come on. It's time to grow up. And I don't even want to bash him because as I said, God uses the worst. See, God's going to turn him around where he's going to get glory out of Sean. Either Sean's going to bow down or lay down.
Mm.
It's going to be one or the other.
Hmm.
And the thing is, are we hoping that his arrogance, his pride don't lead him to the fall?
Hmm.
Because pride comes before the fall.
Yeah.
So he has to be humbled. He's going to be humbled. Shanice has to be humble, but I believe Shanice is more open, even though we have our issues. We have this lesbian thing going on. We have the different thing, but God is like, Of course, Olivia has her thing that she got to straighten out, and it's gonna happen. God is just using these three, this platform, to really show us something.
And
And
I know you said you had to go. I want to ask you a question. Do you believe she met him when she was younger than she is now? Because she's claimed
that's
she
not what she told me. That's not what she told me. She
what
told
did
me
she say?
she told me she had just met him, what, last summer?
Oh.
Because Olivia had just came from staying with me. I had just bought a house. I bought the house I'm living in now. I bought in 2021,
Mm-hmm.
and Olivia came and stayed with me for almost a month.
Mm-hmm.
And she came and stayed with me. She told me she was going to go back home because she was supposed to stay longer. She was trying to get back home. I'm thinking maybe that's probably when she probably had met him,
Mm-hmm.
but she wasn't saying nothing. But then she ended up, she went back to Virginia for a short period of time, and her mom had taken a job out in California for a minute, and she just went out there with her mom. She was hanging out there, and and she ended up in San Diego and got lost, and she never returned, basically.
Mm.
So
Yeah,
we're it's
because
kind
we seen messages and she had admitted that she knew him, I believe, when she was 17, graduating out of high school. Because she has a late birthday, so she graduated when she was
of.
17.
Mhm.
And she was introduced, and so she kind of knew, and they ran in the same circle, and he knew of her at least when she was 17.
Yeah, I see. I didn't know that.
Mm.
I didn't know.
Yeah.
But you know, and that also shows us because people are like, I can't believe you let your daughter. Well, she grown now; she can make her own decisions. But I always tell people that the seed has been sown. Me and her mother sowed some good seed. She didn't have ratchet parents, or we weren't perfect parents, but we loved Olivia. I was in Olivia's life. Her mom was in her life. Olivia didn't want for nothing. Olivia had the best on so many levels. But sometimes, you know, it's crazy when kids have so much, they don't appreciate it. And sometimes it takes you going out and you hooking up with a man that drags you, and then you realize, just like the prodigal son, hey, I'm in this pigsty. I'm coming to my senses. I need to go back home to dad.
Hmm.
People be like, you got to kind of look at, did you make a mistake in your life? Yeah, I made a lot of mistakes, but I was there for my child.
Right.
But it's like, I tell people the prodigal son's father was a man of God. So they say, you're a man of God, you're a preacher, blah, blah, blah. Prodigal son's child, the prodigal son's father was a man of God, but he still decided to go and buy prostitutes. He still decided to go and live wild. But when you come to your senses, and that's why it says, train up a child in the way that they should go, so when they get older, they won't depart from it. The seeds have been sown. And when you really sow a seed of love from God, oh, it's going to return, not void. The Bible said it's going to return with results. She's going to come back. She's a smart girl. She has so much to offer. And she really is, she really is on the business. As far as the business side, she was doing good. But when she met Sean, it went all the way left to something else.
Hmm.
Okay. And I told her when I was talking to her the other day, I said, do you realize that the business has taken a backseat to a poly relationship? You're not known for business. You're known for a poly relationship.
Mm.
You're known
Very,
for a
very
poly
true.
relationship.
Yeah.
So you're not known for, being smart and helping people in their finances, to be able to pass on the wealth of a generation. No, you're known for poly relationship with Sean, talking crazy to you, not having respect, you calling him king, and it's like, whoop, man, what's going on? So it's like I'm just like at the point where I feel that I know that God hand is on her. Um Angels are camped about her. She has divine protection, and all of this is going to come to pass. We just got to keep praying for her, stay in her ear, and when the time comes. But the thing is, every nasty animal shows his face, shows his hand. The Bible says you can tell a tree by the fruit it bears. Sean, I'm sure he has already shown his fruit. She has already seen the actions that are evil. It's just, Olivia, he was like her second boyfriend. I don't think the first boyfriend she was really into like that.
Hmm.
So it's like he was like the first one. Then he gets 10 years on her. as far as sexually, he probably blew her mind. I
Hmm.
mean, my first experience with a woman, I was 13 and a woman was 32.
Oh Lord, you so
My mind was blown.
you were groomed and you were abused.
Well, I was abused, and there was a school teacher. It was a school teacher that was not. It was a school teacher in my school, but she wasn't my school teacher. But she was friends to my teacher, and somehow we had an
Right.
incident that happened, and she learned some things about me and another little girl, and I think it sparked her because she had something in her that was not right. And that was so it's like I understand because I was young, I was naive. I thought it was normal until I started getting older and I realized that this ain't normal.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And that's when I mean, so I'm kind of I stare at Olivia and I see that she's so naive, and I'll be like, Lord, my child, thank you for watching over her.
Mm-hmm.
I thank God for watching over her because I know she's protected. I continue to tell her, I love you. You're beautiful. And I'm always here if you need me. You need money. You need to call me. You need to get out. I'll fly and get you, whatever we need to do. But, but I mean, Olivia, um, I know it's coming that time where it's going to come to that point. I don't know who's going to leave first, her or Shanice, but I know they both not with that. I mean, no. I mean, it
Yeah.
comes to a point where yeah, you got to get out the house. You got to get out the house. You got to get some sun. You got to get some peace. You can't live with someone that's so narcissistic that they just, that nasty towards you, and that spirit is just not right.
They talked about having kids. Do you feel like that Olivia is gonna have a child with him?
I don't think so because Olivia don't want to. Olivia ain't trying to have no kids like that now.
Okay.
I mean, if she has kids, like if she does have kids and she have kids by Sean, I'm feeling like just imagine Sean having to share his attention with a child. He would be very upset. Just imagine Sean, if they don't stay together, having to pay some child support. He ain't got no money.
Mm,
Just imagine that. so
yeah.
so I don't think so. Yeah,
Mm,
I don't think so. And Shanice, I mean, I think if him and Shanice been together this long and she hasn't had kids, probably not gonna happen either.
mhm. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't think so. I don't
Well,
think so.
thank you so much. I appreciate you taking the time, and I really appreciate you giving me the honors to speak with you about this.
Yeah.
And just as a parent myself, I really appreciate you coming on here, clearing up a lot of stuff because it's obvious that Olivia has been lying for Sean. So it's great to hear from you to clear up how she views her mother and how her mother has actually been there and how you have been there for
Oh
her.
yeah. Oh yeah.
It's
We've
great.
always been. She's had support. We thought she was going to college. We really thought she was going to go ahead and go to school, and then she just jumped off and said, not going to. We really thought that she was, and I'm believing that she might still going to college. But really, even if she don't go, she has a business mindset. She comes from an entrepreneur family.
Mhm.
Um, I have always been an entrepreneur. I've never really worked for nobody. I bought homes, I bought cars, I've opened businesses, I've done things, I've traveled, and I never depended on working for a company or working up under nobody else. My mother, my father were entrepreneurs, my brothers and sisters are entrepreneurs.
Mhm.
So it's a part of our family. So it's in her bloodline to do it. Even with how she created this whole platform and how she did the work and as far as all the videos and grinding and getting her name out there. She's an entrepreneur. She's
Mhm.
really smart, but she's with somebody that is trying to pull her down. Well, really, I think he's trying to ride on the knowledge that she has. He's trying to come up on that. But
Mhm.
the thing about it is, it's built on sand, it's
Mhm.
built on lies, and it's got to come down. And
I totally agree.
I called not just me, but everybody who's really sincere about this thing and who's really sincere about the things of God. If you look at the book of Jeremiah, God said that He called us and ordained us to be prophet to the nations. He said He called us to tear things down and build things up.
Mhm.
So it's time for us to speak truth to power, tear these things down. The stuff that's happening, if it's not right, it's just not right, and now is the time to do it.
Absolutely. Well, I agree, and thank you so much. I don't want to take too much of your time. I really appreciate you joining, and I look forward to your live on Sunday at 10 a.m.
Hey, I'm looking forward to you. I have a lot of things to share with y'all, and I really know that y'all gonna find them mind blowing. So God bless. I appreciate you. And I speak God's blessings over your platform because you're a person that, I mean, I'm talking to. You seem like you have a sincere heart. I could feel your spirit. And I'm really proud of what you're doing. Keep it up. Stay positive. Keep encouraging people. Because, I mean, a lot of our young people are on the internet and they need a place that they can actually go where they can get some uplifting and people can tell them you're not that, you're not this. God has a plan for you. You have greatness inside of you. You can do it. You know,
Right.
people need to be encouraged. So God bless you.
Thank
And
you so much, sir. I appreciate
all
you
the people that
joining.
took the time, have a good night. And I look forward
You
to
too.
seeing y'all on Sunday.
All right,
Take
we'll
care.
see you
God bless.
Sunday. Thank you. Sorry, you guys. I wanted just to get it to a certain kind of level. And obviously, I wanted to let you, and you guys are more than welcome if you want to join and you want to talk about this. I mean, obviously, I did not expect to have him on this live tonight. So I'm very thankful that he joined. So let me, I know we got a lot of people in here who wants to say something. I also want to say, you guys, before people start talking, there was some stuff that obviously like he has some homophobia that was trickled in there. Obviously you guys know I don't agree with that, but I let him cook and let him talk because I think that was more important. And there is some Islamophobia in there that I do not agree with because obviously, like I said, I let him cook and let him talk and let him talk his stuff. But at the end of the day, Allah has us. So okay, all right, go ahead. Let's see here.
Hey, let me turn my camera on. Hey, y'all. So it is such a coincidence that I came into your live today, right? Because for one, I've been live hopping because it's a lot been going on TikTok tonight. But two, I noticed you were still,